Why, hello,
Hello.
the world. How are we doing? This is Haladene, the Haladenes.
Podcast.
Oh, no.
The
Haladene podcast, episode 5, February 2nd, 2024. Shit.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Not bad.
Not bad?
How are you doing?
Pretty well.
That's good.
Hey, your cold's gone in an hour. Nice, joking. Anyway, first thing first, housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
We are unbanned. We have musics coming out very soon.
Yes.
How soon? In 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You're in the future right now.
Yes, we are.
So, 15th of February, our second ever song. It's going to be fun when I go, our 22nd song. Our second song, Melody of Malady,
Yeah.
is coming out.
Which is
everywhere.
ironic because I'm feeling a bit sick.
Ah.
Ha ha ha.
For context, people, Malady, M-A-L-A-D-Y, or Malady, means sickness.
Where did you find that word?
So, there is one of my jobs is I run an eBay store. Part of that eBay store is I sell trading cards. During the pandemic, because everyone became strange.
Everyone got hobbies.
Yeah. I actually before the pandemic, I started collecting a trading card game from my youth called Chaotic. I fucking loved Chaotic when I was a kid. I loved it. It only lasted from 2007 to like 2010. It didn't last very long. And basically, before the pandemic, I started buying like old boxes and opening them and like making a collection. And before I knew it, I had a lot of stuff. So I had my collection and then extras. So I started selling them. Anyway, so that's my store. So Chaotic is an old game. It's a small community. There's always rumors it's coming back, but we'll see. One of the cards that I used to play as a kid was called Melody of Malady.
Oh.
So that's where I got it from. So another way to look at for either cool phrases,
Start
words,
collecting chaos cards?
chaotic
cards.
But like legitimately Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering or whatever, those card names, some of them are really cool. So you could take like their metaphors and like, so
you could also look up philosophy books or,
that's a better way to do it.
Old Roman proverbs or whatever the fuck.
But anyway, it's one of my favorite cards because it was, okay, I'm going to be such a nerd for a second. So.
You are such a nerd.
I know. So in the game, you control creatures, and one of the things you can activate at any time is what's called magic and music. So it's basically a song the character plays,
Okay.
and then they get an ability.
Yes.
So Melody of Malady was you gain 5 energy and they lose 10 or something like that.
Oh.
So I'd always like play it and like it's kind of like a
So
game.
that's what the song's all about.
Not really. But it was a good phrase. So yeah.
There you go.
Especially
story.
because one type of cards in that game are all music spells. So they have names like Sonata of Ends, Endless.
I hope all of our songs are named after
Not all
these
of them.
cards
Maybe
now.
like one every like couple of years.
It's Confront the Abyss. No, that wouldn't be.
No, it's not. What's a good one? Fighters Fanfare. That's not bad. I just got to think of cards now. Chorus of the Coffee Car. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a great game. I loved it as a kid.
I've never played it.
Did you play any trading card games as a kid?
We played Yu-Gi-Oh!
How much?
Well,
How seriously?
dude, it got banned at our primary school.
I mean, every school that
because kids would steal each other's cards and then people would cheat. And
yep.
I remember a kid a couple of years older than us, he would, the ultra rare cards or whatever, he would just draw them on a piece of paper and he would try to say, oh yeah, no, this is legit. But yeah, the head teacher in assembly, she gave us a stern warning. If this continues, we're going to ban Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
But it always turned out like
a week later, yeah, it was done.
What always annoyed me was like, so there'd be like the kids who played properly.
Yeah.
Then one kid would get stuffed over in a trade and they could complain to the teacher. I'm like, yeah, but it's your fault for taking the trade. Like you had a bad trade. Like also you probably had fake cards and all that type of stuff at the time.
I only just remember Chris Bryant drawing a card with pen and paper. That's all I remember.
It was a great time because the card game was kind of simple. Most of us knew how to play it from the show.
Oh, I certainly didn't.
No, but you knew like roughly how to play it. Have you actually watched the show?
Yeah.
As an adult?
Fuck yeah, it's
so
awesome.
much fun.
It's awesome.
It's
I prefer GX. That's my favorite.
That's a hot take.
I love it.
I like GX season 1. I don't like the other seasons. It gets too crazy.
They're good.
But I'm a massive. I like Zane. My favorite deck is Cyber Dragon. I love Cyber Dragons.
That's my favorite too.
Strange.
Yeah.
I actually built a real Cyber Dragon deck.
And I've seen it.
Did I show you?
Yes.
Oh. For my friend's wedding, me and him have a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like bond.
You fucking
So I never play with him
nerds.
because like I say if I was to get into it, I would lose my whole life to it because I know I would get into like, oh, this card counters this card, and then
Well,
like,
the Friendly Geordies thing, he did, stories about Yu-Gi-Oh cards and, someone bringing a knife to a tournament or something. Oh, it just sounds horrific.
as a watcher of Yu-Gi Tube, which is Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube,
Yeah.
yes, there's rules against being too smelly. There's rules
Yeah,
against,
that's right.
Like it's just
Yeah, that would be...
especially the modern game is so complicated. Like we used to get in arguments as kids about rules, right? The modern game is so complicated that like
it's just
you
not
need
worth
judges,
it.
and then you can appeal the judge decision, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It
It's
sounds
just a
more
game.
complicated than work politics.
Dude, it is. So there's fusions, right?
No,
Synchros,
no,
XYZ,
no,
pendulum,
no,
Link. Magic spell cards, traps, and then traps can be monsters.
You know what? This reminds me of something else, though.
What?
Another obsessive thing that adults have.
Yeah.
Nerdy adults, Warhammer.
Oh, yeah.
And, like a lot of people, I was like, oh, yeah, it's the pandemic. There's nothing to do. I'm going to paint some Warhammer and buy some shit.
Sounds like fun.
I think I got halfway through and I was like, oh, fuck this. But I remember when I worked at the Good Guys warehouse, one of our colleagues, he had like a Warhammer tournament on his day off.
How do you transport it?
They have
Bags?
they have
But
like
they're so fragile, right?
cases with like the foam. Yeah, they've got specially designed cases for it. But we went to this me and this other we had finished work and we're like, oh yeah, let's go see Jerry's tournament. And this guy I was with, he's a jock. He's not into any of this nerdy shit at all. Yeah. He likes his tennis and he likes his footy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, let's go suss it out. We get to this warehouse in Burwood.
Okay.
And God.
The smell? What's the
The
smell of paint and plastic? No?
paint and plastic and, a couple of sweaty dudes.
Couple? 99% dudes.
Nah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was, a couple of guys who were well dressed, you saw the
In
wedding.
the suits?
No,
There's
no,
always
no.
one of them.
No,
Okay,
no. But they had, wedding rings and whatnot. I was like, oh, okay. But there was one guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Had the what is it? The
top
monk.
hat.
The monk, ball
Jewish
patch.
monk? Oh, okay, yeah.
There's still a little bit of hair around here.
So he's older.
Yeah. It was a Lord of the Rings Warhammer tournament. He had his Rohan army.
Wait.
He
That's
was
not
wearing...
Warhammer. Wait.
No, Lord of the Rings Warhammer, yeah.
Is that in the Warhammer universe, or
Yeah.
is that different?
There's 3.
What's the... Okay.
Let's not...
Well, just tell me the 3.
40k,
Yeah, I know that
fantasy, and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. They made so much money. Oh, my God.
He had a green Rohan cape on.
What's that? Like a
He had a cape.
Oh yeah. Oh, he
was wearing a cape. I was like, oh shit, this guy's not fucking around.
Mm-mm.
And apparently he wiped the floor with the whole competition.
Dice rolling? Is there like
a lot of dice.
So it's like Dungeons and Dragons. Like 20-sided dice, and it's like that's how much.
No.
attack
I think you have like 26 dice or whatever. I don't know.
Because
Let's not get.
So my other concern I always see about the game.
It was
workshop-
interesting.
Yeah, of course it's interesting.
It's fun to observe, but I can never get into it. It's just too much, too time consuming, too much fucking expensive.
Yeah, how much is like something? It's like $50.
It's a lot.
Like
for
a
piece of
little plastic thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's well made, I guess. But
No, it is.
then you have to paint. Because my whole thing was like, yeah, the figures look cool, but I know that if I tried to paint it, I would fuck it up, and I would be so mad at myself.
Yes.
So I also build like anime models, like Gundams, basically. And the reason I do that is because there's no painting. Because I know that I would focus on the fact that I got that thing wrong, like that little mark wrong. Therefore, it looks bad. Because I'm not good enough at it.
Well, yeah, painting, it's a whole other thing in itself. You go on YouTube and there's some guys that are really, really good at the painting.
And then they make like dioramas. Like they make like the full landscape, and they put all their... Same thing with train people. You know people that go the model trains?
Yeah.
My friend, one of my best friends is also a model train person. He's married, so maybe it works. Who knows?
Yeah, wow. very, very impressive. Great to observe, but get into it, fuck that.
It's like in every country town, there's a games workshop.
Yeah,
shop.
there is.
It's like how... They must make enough. Like, I just find it...
Yeah,
Then
there's,
again,
there's
there's
nerds.
space.
There's nerds everywhere that want to
I know,
stay
yeah, yeah.
inside.
Well, there's card shops everywhere, right? And
Yeah.
that stuff.
I like to think I have a good balance. You know,
Mm.
I mean, my indoorsy stuff these days is just trying to make music.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm very outdoorsy too,
Mm.
which I think is, look, each to their own.
It's half-half.
But I would say you're much better off doing outdoorsy activities or things that involve movement.
Mm. No, you should do half-half. Definitely
If you
half-half.
if you're gonna do one though,
Oh, well, yeah.
outside.
Well, one of them is double benefit, which is it's enjoyable, and then also you get the health benefits.
Yes.
One of them is a bit more, but you know, it's good and bad.
A lot of
My only thing
people-
is that the nerds control the internet, so it seems a
Of
lot
course they
more
do.
popular than what it is. But you never know.
Should we talk about health these days?
Eh.
No?
Well, you wanted to talk about Mexico. Mexico.
I watched a YouTube video,
Uh-oh.
and this guy goes to this region in Mexico where they basically worship Coca-Cola, and because of poor education, people are completely
Mm.
unaware that the reason why most of them have diabetes is because they consume 2-3
Sugar-rich.
liters of Coke every day.
How much?
Some people they're like,
2
oh,
liters.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
They
bad.
also burp a lot.
Well, you would.
I mean, Coke is nice, obviously. Like
And, you know, you go to the witch doctor because you have diabetes and they give you Coke for healing.
do they give you the green stuff for healing? You know, Coke was originally green.
Oh, true,
And
yeah.
cocaine in it, I believe.
Yeah.
Or cannabis, I forget.
Oh, it would have been, cocaine.
Yeah.
Would have been so much more tasty before they got rid of the Coke. Fuck.
No, they just put caffeine in it. Ugh. But what's crazy is when I go buy Coke now and it's like, if I don't want to deal with it, I can buy caffeine-free, sugar-free.
Yeah.
It
Diet.
doesn't taste that bad.
I have the odd fizzy drink. You know, I like
Yeah,
a
same,
diet,
but like,
a
I'm just
Diet
saying, like,
Coke.
you can be so health conscious is the wrong word to say it, but you can, with almost no downside, still indulge in it.
Yes.
Now, it literally is like 0 calorie, blah, 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 but like, it still has effects.
The chemicals.
But if you, look, once a week you're having Coke, if the choice is between sugar or non-sugar, the better option is non-sugar. Actually, the best option is not to have it, but if you're going to have it...
I'm not sure about that.
What?
I've heard that the chemicals are more unhealthy than the sugar, but I'm sure they're both
It's
bad
like
in their
half
own
dozen
way.
the other. It's like, that with that whole thing of like, this is worse
Drink
than this.
water, kids.
Yes, you should most likely drink water, then milk. Juice is probably as bad as Coke, etc. Because of
Yeah.
the sugar. But if you're going to indulge in it, you know, if you're going to have it once a week, it doesn't really matter. Like 1 glass once a week, it doesn't really matter. It's that
Yeah.
if you're overeating and you have Coke, it's really bad for you.
Mm.
Like if you have Coke within your caloric amount and you have a healthy weight, it's fine, basically. Basically, the mechanisms are if you are healthy weight, you're eating at maintenance,
Yeah.
you're not gaining or losing weight heaps, you're fine. But it's if you care about performance that much, then yeah, you can get that minute. But to most people, eating out once or twice a week is fine because they're having the same weight and they're a healthy weight. But
Yeah.
if you're not a healthy weight and you're gaining weight and you're unhealthy, then it's bad, right? It's like fix the first thing first. If you are eating fast food most of the time and you cut out Coke, that's like dealing with one symptom, not the main
Yes.
symptom, right? Which is why in online arguments it'd be like you should drink diet or sugar. It's like, well, in context,
Just don't do either.
well, that's the easiest context. But in context, it's like the calorie amount is what matters most. Once that is sorted, then it kind of doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But if you have the choice between blueberries and Coke, then yes, blueberries is better for you. But
Yes.
like,
Natural sugar.
it is reductionist arguments are very easy as well, and it's very scare tactics. But like, did you grow up watching like morning TV and that type of stuff?
You
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, maybe a little bit.
Because I have memories of like every other week they'd be like, coffee's great for you. And then next week, coffee's terrible for you. And then tomatoes are actually what gives you cancer. And then bread is like, and I'm like, what is it? Answer is it's not one individual food, it's a combination. But
Yes.
because like if you focus on not eating tomato, that doesn't fix the root problem.
No.
Which is in the Mexican example, that they're having too much sugar, therefore
too much.
gaining too much weight, therefore
Getting
diabetes, etc. Does anyone in your family have diabetes?
I don't think so. No.
My uncle has, I believe, type 2, which is... Actually, I had a teacher in primary school that had diabetes.
Yeah.
And I remember her showing us, you know, the prickles they have to put insulin
Oh,
in
yes.
because their body doesn't produce insulin,
Yeah.
that they basically have holes all over them to put in the. I'm not sure if the modern one's better, but.
Well, a friend, actually, guitarist from Fuzz Meadows,
Oh yeah.
he had a pen, and I remember once being on the beach one summer, and we had to race him to the shop just to give him some sugar. Yeah.
It's such a privilege to not be able to have to worry about anything of the sort.
Because if you had that 200 years ago, you'd be dead.
Basically.
That's it.
I mean, you could argue it's evolution trying to get rid of you, but. But yes, and also it's a lot more common than what it used to be. Diabetes is quite common.
It's a
unfortunately.
bit sad. Yeah, there's a lot.
And also, so type 2. So there's 2 types. I'm not an expert, obviously, but like from what I gather, type 2 was about 20 years ago. Type 2 was very rare, and only in adults. And every year it gets more and more common, and it gets younger and younger and younger. Kids getting type 2 diabetes at like 12 and 15.
Jesus.
Did you know any kids that had diabetes or anything like that?
I'm sure there were some, but I don't recall.
They try to hide it. It's not.
I just don't remember.
It's a pretty awful thing to like steal someone's insulin, and then like.
Oh Jesus!
Like, that's horrible. Anyway,
what's this story about Americans and Kettles? Go on. I'm gonna love this.
About it's during the pandemic. You're on TikTok or whatever.
Here we go.
There's a duo called Luke and Lewis. Are you familiar with them? They're like radio hosts. Anyway, they released some joke, whatever, and in the joke, they used a kettle as a prop. And a bunch of Americans in the comments were like, "What's that?" And they, what? What do you mean, what's that? And they're like, "It's a kettle." And the Americans are like, "Why don't you just heat it up on the stove?" And he proved this by calling a few comedians from America, these guys comedians, and they asked them, "What is this?" And they looked at them like, "I don't know. Is that like a jug?" I'm like,
"Are you serious?"
I'm dead serious. Now, it might be like 50% don't have them and 50% do. But here in Australia and in Britain, everyone has a kettle because they have tea.
Yes.
But I remember, you know in Harry Potter, the one where the guys killed at the start, 3 or 4? Where Voldemort comes back, 4.
Yeah.
There's the guy, the old guy, and he puts it on the stove.
Kettle on the stove,
I guess that is a kettles too. I thought that was so strange. Not an electric kettle.
Well, you do, yeah. You can get those. I forget the brand.
The old
but
type.
It's like, the old type. You put it on the stove, yeah.
It's not faster, is it?
Probably not.
Actually, I stayed in a hotel last year. I was like, because you think like, what could you possibly upgrade in a kettle to buy a new one unless it breaks? And this kettle literally had the temperature. So you could take it off at the perfect temperature.
Great.
I'm like, great. That's so useful. Anyway, so yes, apparently
50% of Americans don't have kettles.
It wasn't that, but I'm saying like a large majority of Americans have never or don't use kettles. Because when they have coffee, they don't make it at home.
No, they go to the
shop.
drive-through.
Drive-through coffee, oh my God. But
look, I love
Britain,
Americans, but we all love to hang shit on them. We love to.
In Britain, there's not really tea shops, are there? Everyone makes
tea
at home. But everyone makes tea at home.
Yeah. You can go for afternoon tea or whatever.
That doesn't mean a drink necessarily.
Nah.
It means like...
Yeah,
it means like snacks and
sandwiches.
Scones.
Yeah.
Sorry, scones.
Scones.
What's the pronunciation?
Scones.
Not scones.
I'm not the queen.
Castle.
Castle.
Good. Dance.
Dance.
France.
I'm from the north.
I'm from the north. What do you say, France?
France.
Yeah. France. I'm from France. We're to southern
posh.
France. Not poshy. Are there posh northerners?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what do they sound like?
Ilkley.
What's the fuck?
There's a town, a posh town.
Ilkley.
Yeah.
Why is it posh? Do they have mansions? Do they have heating? Is that what makes them posh? No, I'm joking.
No, they have agar ovens.
What's that?
Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Imagine your whole kitchen, or most of it. It's powered by one sort of warm, sort of ceramic stone-like big stove, and
like a wood fire pizza, like a wood fire stove. Is it electric? Is it gas?
I think it might be gas.
So is the kitchen small?
I think they're called like an agar oven or something, but they're very nice.
Are they like solid?
They're
like
very
is it like
posh.
one thing that has an oven and then the stove top on top?
Yes, and it's always.
Is it white?
Yes.
That's not posh.
It's very posh. But it's
so
always
what would a non-posh
you don't have to turn it on though. It's always just on.
That means it's gas. No, that can't be right.
I don't know. Anyway.
So you're saying if someone has that, automatic posh. Do you know what a
upper middle class, yeah.
Do you know what a convection microwave oven is? So there's like a normal microwave oven.
Yeah.
Then there's like a more, it's like $3,000 for like a microwave.
Fucking hell.
But it's like convection, yeah.
What's so special about
I don't
it?
know. Made by Miele, therefore it's better.
Oh, okay, enough said.
It's German, therefore it must cost
Yeah.
twice as much. No,
Anyway, I wanted to show this to the audience.
Oh, you did? So our friends in Priorities, who are a band from Melbourne,
Well, when they played the show in
they
Traralgon,
just put them everywhere.
oh no, someone was at the top on the balcony and like towards the end of one of
Oh,
the
they
last
chucked
songs.
them?
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
like confetti.
Except
And I got one.
I thought you were talking about the guitarist just trying to put it on everyone. He was
I don't remember him doing that.
the Dean was trying to put it on Deadweight's guitars or whatever.
Oh no, they were on Deadweight's guitars.
No, but he put them on there
yes.
because the stage had no
Stickers?
barrier. There's no lip to the stage.
No, there isn't.
Anyway,
Wait, it was just the floor, wasn't it?
it's great.
Yeah.
Loved it. You forget you're on stage.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that was good. What do I want to say? It's gone. Anyway,
Let's go back
talking
to
of
music.
musics. We are a band apparently.
We are
Most
a
of being in a
band.
band is not talking about music. It's doing other things.
Like such
Traveling,
as
complaining about traffic,
complaining about each other,
complaining about airports, I imagine, complaining about hotel rooms.
Oh, can't wait
food.
to do that.
Yeah. Complaining about where we're staying, yeah. So, Mr. Luca,
Mr. Damien.
you used to be a guitar teacher or are a guitar teacher.
Yeah, I did used to guitar teach.
Tell me, how was it?
Okay. Well, I started guitar teaching when I was, I think, in my second or third year at uni. And initially, I had a lot of fun doing it because the place I taught at, it was a mixture of adults and kids. And at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, the kids are very, very sweet. And there was one girl, I can't remember her name, but she just loved My Chemical Romance. It's all she wanted to do. And God, we'd spend 2 minutes trying to learn one song. And, you know, because she didn't know her power chord, she couldn't do it. She's like, oh, I want to learn this song now. It was very sweet.
Okay.
But then there was
Do you
also...
get jaded?
Huh?
Do you get jaded of teaching the same thing?
You do.
Yeah.
It was when... Yeah, last year, before I did ESL teaching, which I find much more dynamic and rewarding and fun, I was teaching just kids. And look, most of the kids, they weren't really too interested in actually learning guitar. I guess their parents were just like, oh, you've got to learn an instrument or whatever.
I mean, real inner interest, I would say, wouldn't really come until like 12, 13, 14, really.
Yeah.
Like, and by that time, you don't really need a teacher. You need it to start, but then once you're on your way,
Yeah.
the your own drive will push you forward rather than teacher. Yeah.
But yeah, some of these kids, I mean, they were very sweet, but sometimes it was just babysitting.
I mean, you're just babysitting, yeah. It's an expensive babysitter.
Oh god,
I did think about doing it for a while, but I'm like,
it's better. It's very fun to teach adults.
yeah,
That's good because of course they want to learn.
Yeah.
And you can really feel the progress.
Yeah.
There were some kids, of course, they were good at their sight reading and they enjoyed the guitar.
When you say sight reading, you mean tab, right?
No, sight reading.
Oh, actual. Okay.
Yeah, sight reading. I can teach the basics of sight reading.
Can you sight read?
Not
Okay.
properly.
I can sight read.
You know,
Saxophone,
we did
but not-
nursery rhymes stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's very basic.
Yeah.
But yeah, guitar teaching, it was just a bit difficult too to find permanent work, I suppose.
Unless you get a school gig or something.
Yeah.
Like work at a high school or something.
Yeah. Initially I liked it, but in the end, yeah, it got a bit jaded and, you get a bit bored of teaching smoke on the water over and over again.
I mean, to me, it's like, I always thought like I would teach them like, here's what you need to learn to be able to do it yourself and then go away. Because it's like, once you learn how to read tab, power chords, the movement of your hands, there's not really much else.
It's actually very hard to teach kids how to do power chords.
Well, yeah.
They really struggle to do it. I'm serious.
Like, which way? Like the strumming or like the...
No, just with the fretting hand.
Oh, okay.
They find it really difficult to hold
Are
a
their
power
hands
chord.
too small?
I don't know if it's just that
Do
or
you teach
just
them on acoustic or electric?
well, both, mainly
Yeah.
acoustic.
Which one was
But yeah,
this?
maybe, I guess it's a combination of their hands being small and just they haven't got the coordination yet.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there was one, 6-year-old. The
That seems
guitar
so
was
young.
bigger than him, and his hand was up over here.
Might as well teach them ukulele. Like, why teach them?
True. He'll grow into it.
I know, but it's like, I don't know. I grew up playing tennis. I didn't
Yeah.
really. When did I start lessons? 7 or 8.
Tennis lessons.
Yeah, and I'm like, I see kids at like 5, and I'm like, what? Yeah, it's fun.
Because they're going to be at the Australian Open
but they're
one
not
day,
going-
or so,
but, like-
so their parents hope, at least.
But if you start a kid at 6 and 8, there's no difference. Like, you know, the true talent won't come out until they're like fully grown anyway.
I suppose, yeah.
But like, if they're so jaded,
No, get them in young.
yeah, I understand that,
parrots.
but like, I don't know. The true telling, it comes when they're 13, 14. And
Well,
like, they dedicate themselves. And
Well,
then you find
speaking
out.
of which, yeah, 14 was when I started taking guitar a bit more seriously.
Mm.
My teacher was this old hippie from the 60s. And yeah, like I'd go into the guitar shop in Skipton, my town in England. We'd go down into his basement, and his dog would bark at you as he walks down. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, she'll get used to you." And yeah, all the muso kids at school would talk about, I think his name was Malcolm, the Malcolm experience. But he'd be there, his hand shaking probably because he had too much coke in the 60s. And he's like, well, to play this power chord, you put your first finger on the 5th fret of the A string and your third finger over
On the G
here.
string.
Yeah. And then he would give you an exercise and he'd be like, oh, do you want to get on with that now? And he'd take off for 5 minutes and then check in on you. You've just been noodling.
How did I start? So I learnt piano as a kid,
Yeah.
which I didn't practice because I didn't want to. So I learnt decent little piano until I was about 10. Then I switched to saxophone for some reason. I don't know why, but I did. So I played saxophone from grade 5 and then all through high school.
Yeah.
The best part about playing at school is that you got a period off. And my saxophone teacher
True.
was so awesome. He was such a cool dude. We talk about Lord of the Rings and video games, and he was just the chillest guy. He was
Boy,
so
this
cool.
teacher's... I mean, I've been in his shoes too, where a kid just comes and just starts shouting shit, and he's probably thinking, oh, I'm getting paid for... This is fine. I'm getting paid to babysit or just to talk to a kid about, video games or movies or whatever it may be.
My favorite time was always like, oh shit, oh crap, we got a concert coming up, and like you got the stupid, term showcase or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got to make something. Oh shit, we got to all right, what do you want to play? All right, cool. Done. Did you ever do the grades?
I didn't know.
Okay, I did one for saxophone.
What grade did you get to?
I remember.
The highest is grade
8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
grade
8.
8.
So I did grade. Was it 5 or 6? I don't remember.
Ooh.
I did grade. Yeah, in about year 9, year 8. So I was about 14.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was year 10. Basically, you're supposed to do like every 6 months. You're supposed to go up grades.
Okay.
Or like 6 to 9 months. So by year 12, you're supposed to be in grade 8 doing your grade 8 exam.
Yes.
Now, grade 8 for piano, I believe, is für Alice. Didn't it?
Really?
I believe so.
Actually,
But you have to play the
that
whole
would
piece.
be difficult. Yeah.
You have to play the whole piece
difficult.
perfectly, right?
Yes.
My music teacher, I've mentioned before, was such a... I got back a B for my grade 6 or whatever. And she was like, I didn't think you deserved that. I'm like, what the hell? Far out.
Oh, tough teacher.
Yeah. She wasn't even my saxophone teacher. My saxophone teacher was like happy that I did it, whatever. But my classroom music teacher, like the music, like department lady,
Yeah.
she was like, no. Because she would teach year 11, year 12. I'm like, that's why I personally did something called music composition in year 11, year 12.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to do it. I was like, I don't want to practice saxophone an hour a night because I don't care.
Yeah.
I might have done guitar, but like that level of, I saw there's 3 or 4 really good guitarists in my year, and I saw basically only one of them.
Where are they now?
Yeah, only one of them keeps playing.
Really?
One of them who was the most amazing fingerstyle player, like 12-string style, like John Butler Trio style.
Okay.
Like he could play Ocean perfect. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll show you.
Flamenco fingerstyle shit.
No. Well, he can do that perfectly, and also he could play. There's an indie artist here called John Butler, who is famous for playing 12-string guitar.
Yeah.
And this amazing 12-minute long guitar piece called Ocean. He would play it just for fun.
Yeah.
He was an amazing player, but after has no
So you're the best now, probably.
Nah, he's probably still better than me. But, yeah, it's just that combination of like, does the kid want to do it, dedication, and then does that pushing reduce the love for it? And it's a really difficult balance.
Yeah.
Because although it takes out the fun basically, and especially high school when you do music as year 12 or whatever, it's like study scores and learning a million types of scales and blah blah blah.
At uni, it was somewhat similar. I mean, I'd say 90% of the guitarists were not interested in jazz. We don't care. And our teachers are trying to
get you to practice. And
but no, you don't.
I mean, it's good
you want to play
it's
your
good for
shit.
Repertoire and like learning other styles.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the focus should be your style, and then extra classes are like learning. Because I would find value in like doing a classical class, but I would want to do my stuff as the focus, and then the other stuff is extra. But unfortunately, music courses are creating conservatorium, like violin players. That's their prime focus, like for the symphony.
Yeah.
Or jazz people, but jazz doesn't exist anymore. Like,
I mean, it does.
It does, but it's not.
I mean, our teachers who are experts in jazz, they'll go and play gigs and they'll be paid the same amount that we will playing zeros. Or if you're a punk band, just playing 3 chords.
Yeah, which is still open zeros.
The punk kids are probably getting paid more than the jazz nuts.
Yeah, because the punk fan base buys shirts. Like the jazz, no one walks around with like a BB King shirt on. What?
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, music schools are, I don't know. There's such good professors in there, and it's like, if you just let them run, like I heard the story about one of the not here, but in America, a composition, some guy who ran a composition,
at Berkeley, or
something like that. Anyway, he's like, every year, first year, the first assignment is, you can write whatever music, I think there's a time limit of like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're only allowed F and F sharp. That's it. Go be creative,
That's good.
Like that's a great challenge.
I like that.
One day at uni, I met a friend, whatever. He was in the composition course, 3rd year.
Yeah.
Now, I was like, okay, cool. Oh, what type are you writing for your final assessment? Blah blah. He's like, oh, I can't read music. I'm like, what? You're in a composite? What? How does the player play the music you've written? And he's like, oh, you just draw diagrams. I'm like, wait. Oh. So that's the player's interpretation. Like I get normal written music has interpretation, but not much. Beethoven's blah 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 is roughly it's roughly what he's written. You can have interpretation in terms of speed and blah blah blah, but like
roughly the same.
But I'm like, oh yeah, we do graphical representation.
Well, that reminds me, there was one teacher at Box Hill Institute.
Yes.
He was a bit of a wild card, but we really liked him for that. And he had such a, fuck the institute kind of attitude about him. And his improv classes were so good.
Why? Just do anything?
Yeah, well, okay, no sheet music, which for guitarists is great.
Yeah, but that's a guitarist.
And there was maybe 12 of us in a circle. We all had our eyes closed, and we're just going, I mean, you're trying not to laugh, but at the same time, it's a real spiritual experience. And he would get us into groups. I think with mine, there was a singer, 2 guitarists, and a trumpet player. And he said to us, imagine a rhinoceros sneezing. And we just improvise. It was great. There was one kid who was like, oh no, I can't stand this. Like, what are you talking about? This is fun.
Yeah.
And when we did our own, it was a dinner rush at a restaurant. And the singer was just, pretending to be an arrogant French chef while the rest of us are just... it was great.
You're just being theater kids.
It was fun, though. It was fun. And that's, that's what great art is all about. Just improvising and seeing what happens.
But you still have to have a quality assurance. Like, you still have to go, that's good, that's bad. But yeah, I understand. The creative process is supposed to be fun, not just... we don't sit down and write down chord charts or melodies, a little bit,
do we?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. It's more just about what's going on with your hands and the instrument in the moment.
I think more...
The greatest guitarists, Most of them, I would say, they don't know theory.
Oh,
They
theory doesn't
know
matter. They know
They
it by ear.
know it, but they don't.
It's more, you're trying to evoke a feeling.
Yes.
But I think to evoke a feeling, you do need a direction. You can't just say, make something. It's like, well, what are we, like,
Yeah.
you need a bit more direction. And I think
Yes.
that people talk a lot about limitations on art that create great art because that's a limit and like it focuses your brain. Because if we could do anything, I could bring out my maracas.
Yes.
But that
Ronnie would love that.
No, he wouldn't.
He likes anything. He's like, oh, that sounds cool.
Should I bring out in one song when I don't play guitar, just like the fucking the sand, not the sand shaker, the shaker, just like hold up to the microphone.
Sure.
Or bring out the triangle, like the classic.
Man.
Anyway, what was it? I had another memory. One of my favorite classes was in year 8. We had a teacher. It was supposed to be a music class, but there was no like, what's a crotchet? You know, that shit that they try to teach you. He was like, all right, we're going to do music appreciation for 6 months. As in,
oh, cool.
we're all going to get in, and we're going to... So one of the assignments was, each of you pick a song, we're going to listen to it for a minute, and then talk about... Each person has to talk about the song for 2 minutes. What it means to them, that type of stuff. So we got a big what? No, that's not a word. Variety of the taste of the class.
Yes.
And that was quite fun. To see what people got out of it, especially because a lot of kids would choose rap at that time, obviously, and it's a lot about lyrics, and the more musician kids chose more, the music does this, but I think it was really good because I think it's a bad, a mistake that most classes are like, here's how to play recorder. It's like, no. Teach a love of music, like teach of like how to engage, how to find music.
True.
Rather than, like one of the another good assignments was he basically said like, hey, here's a keyboard, there's 2 people, make a song.
Yeah, I remember doing that shit.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, we'll see what happens.
And you just saw, I found a cool effect.
yeah. And the kids are having fun.
Yes.
And they show it off, and it's always shit, and that's just how it is. Because it's just a break from maths, English, history, And
music theory is important, but
you get stuck.
Yeah.
It can be helpful.
It's very helpful.
But yeah, it can be limiting as well. Like, we can only go in this direction, blah, blah, blah. But
Well, jazz theory, everything goes out. Jazz theory
true.
takes everything out the window.
But like, actual improvisation is not improvisation, right? Like improvising a solo is like, well, what key are we in? What chords are you playing? Like, it's not really improvising.
Well, unless there's free jazz.
But then, does anyone actually listen to free jazz?
People that play free jazz.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And the bar that plays free jazz, everyone will walk in and go, ooh, dissonance, and walk out. Like,
just the music nerds watching. It's like, ooh.
The best discussion you can have is your gear discussion. Nothing about the music, just, so what amps are you using these days? I really like the V220. It's like, oh my God. I don't care.
That's funny.
We didn't yeah.
Yeah, we are definitely not gearheads.
No. I mean,
we should get a little bit into it.
Well, yeah, but like...
We should.
To improve what you have, not to like, as a distraction.
Yeah.
It's like tech people. It's like, this GPU is 2% faster on a game I don't play. Like, who the fuck... Like, do you know what I mean?
Man, yeah,
people who buy the top of the line shit, and I'm like, do you actually play the game?
Yeah.
Like, but it looks so good. I'm like,
really
but you don't care.
No, I remember my cousin spending $2,000 upgrading his PC, and he was just like, I can... The mountains in Skyrim look so much better. It's like, are you fucking serious, bro? Oh, my God.
Look, I get, like, generational upgrades, like, once every 5 years.
Yes.
But that's, like, different. Like, do you know anyone who upgrades their phone every year?
I'm sure
you don't even notice.
Do,
right?
yeah, but I don't notice.
Because it's like... Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, the new iPhone, iPhone's out. I'm going to go buy it. It's like, why?
Well, it's not fun to do. I get that. But like...
If you got the money and if it's what you're into, then yeah.
Yeah. No, it's more that, like for me personally, it's like, if I buy... For example, I'm going to buy a new Mac, hopefully, this year.
Yeah, I need to buy a new Mac.
That the deal with myself is I have to use it for like 6 years.
Yes.
Because if you do it every year, you're getting 5% better.
But it's like, are you even using the technology that's available?
Like, it's $1,600 for a MacBook. You can probably sell it for $1,200. Like, you're not that worse off, but why?
I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. Nah, but it's good. Technology is so good these days anyway. Like, let me...
I know, I don't know. Yeah, it's... Wow.
For example,
technology.
the Mac that stuffed up last episode. But is from 2012. That's in front of us.
It still works fine.
Still works fine.
Yeah.
A bit of TLC, bit of cleaning, bit of love, and it works forever. It's like a car.
True.
Like there are people that upgrade cars every 3 years. I'm like,
Why?
why? Unless something breaks or it crashes, I think you should upgrade your car personally. But does the
It's
aircon still
doing
work?
okay at the moment.
Does the aircon still work?
Yeah.
Mine's starting to break.
Oh. Yeah, but you never get yours serviced.
No, I did get it serviced.
Yeah, fucking took 5 years.
That's not. It's only started breaking the last like 2 weeks. I'm like, I drove with Tariq to Ranak's house,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that hot on last Saturday. And was it last Saturday?
Yeah, it was.
Shit, feels like a lifetime ago.
I know. This time, well, actually, no,
anyway,
no. It was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes, we're time traveling.
Yes.
Anyway, it wasn't that hot last Saturday. We drove to Ranak's house, and there was like sweat. Like,
No, I remember you saying,
I
yeah.
was like, oh shit.
Nah, my
No, I just
gotta
gotta get it checked, and hopefully it's not bad. I don't want to upgrade cars. I love my car.
If you can keep yours, keep it.
Of course. It's from 2002. It's pretty old. Damn, man. 2002. That was what happened in 2002? Anything? Any? I think it was in prep.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards got banned at primary school.
I think that's actually right. To bring it full circle.
Yeah.
That's a good full. That's a good full circle.
True.
I should yeah. All right. Is there anything else? Oh, I didn't say the extra part of housekeeping. So we have a new song. I said the song. We have a show on February 7th
Yeah.
at the Workers Club with Centralia, which should be fun.
And Manic Temple.
And next time, no, time after that, we will talk about
those shows.
the great show and how the Workers Club is amazing
Yeah.
and how, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Hopefully.
Are they launching anything? Do you know? Or is it just like a celebration show?
Well, they got that new singer, Decentralia, so...
It doesn't
Maybe
seem
it's
like a
for
single
that.
launch, because the Priority show was supposed to be a singles launch.
Well, yeah, but I don't think the Priorities one is a singles launch. But
No, the first show was. The Whole Lot of Love bar
Yes,
was.
but for Centralia...
Nothing.
yeah.
So just new members.
Yeah.
First time in a while.
And
I saw them on the Instagram recording.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe new stuff.
It's happening, yeah.
It'll be fun. We can talk to them. They're a bit older than us as well. Anyway, time for
Quote.
Have you seen the show West Wing?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it?
Is that a hospital, West Wing?
No. Grey's Anatomy. The West Wing is about it's about a fake president.
Oh, God.
It's from 2000 to 2007. And they
What an obscure TV show.
It's not obscure. It's an amazing TV show. You should watch it.
Okay.
It's
I won't watch it.
It's about a basically. It's a dramatized White House. It's not exactly how it works, but you know, it's really, really good. Good shit. It's also funny because the first episode has a. Do you know what a pager is?
Yes.
So for context for Zoomers and anyone younger, a pager is it's a pre-mobile phone.
Yeah.
That tells you someone called you on your home phone.
Yes.
And it can kind of send messages. The first episode, I kid you not, is one of the main members of staff leaves his pager with like a sex worker.
Nice.
That's the plot of the first episode, and that can't get out because the chief of communications or whatever can't be with even though he's single and it doesn't matter.
Can't be going to a brothel.
Can't be going. I don't know if it was a hooker. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's just funny. It's just funny that the first episode is a pager episode.
What's the quote?
There's an episode where a North Korean musician comes and he plays for them, and they think he's trying to get asylum and blah blah blah. Anyway, during the episode, he plays some Chopin, and they talk about this idea called a Korean idea called Han, which is a sadness so deep no tears will come, and yet there's hope. So there's this beautiful scene where he's playing Chopin, and he's talking about this idea because the Korean, if you know anything about Korean history, is pretty.
Two powerful empires.
Yeah. That modern history. But anyway, it's just that it's just beautiful that they have this one word to kind of the sadness. Like if you think of like their history is specifically, it's like hundreds of years of just being shat upon, basically. But it's a beautiful little episode, And yeah, a sadness so deep no tears will come, I think is a beautiful
What's it called again?
Han.
Goodness
It's the
me.
word. It's one word. So if you feel Han, it's like
A sadness so deep no tears will come.
Yeah,
But there's hope.
but there's hope. Yeah. So it's kind of a beautiful little thing.
It is.
I'll probably write lyrics about it.
You probably will.
Anyway, thanks guys for checking us out.
Thank you.
We didn't even introduce ourselves again. We forgot to do it again.
Luca and
Damien. I play guitar. He plays guitar.
I do. Hopefully I won't be sick next time we record. But I think I've been alright.
You've been fine.
Yeah.
I got to go edit this stuff and post it
Yeah.
after the practice. So we'll see everybody next time.
We will.
And good day.
Ta-ra.
Good day.